Hello, everyone. My name is Esther of the Esther's Chronicles TV. So, this past week, I had an opportunity to co host a conversation that is so dear to my heart. I was invited to Plove TV to talk about how to balance family life as a mom and wife living abroad. It was an awesome conversation, and I thought to share a hint of the conversation with you. Kindly go check out Plove TV to watch the full video. You will get value back to back. As you come in, like the video, share it out, and let's get started. You are welcome.
She has her children and her husband. So please, how do you balance such?
Okay. Wow, that's one thing that at some point I had to just put my feet down on some things. Balancing, the truth is there's no perfect balance. You can't say, okay, I've put structures in place. I'll do this today, I'll do this tomorrow, I'll do this tomorrow, I'll do this next tomorrow, and you think it will work. No. Let me come from if you are a working mom. So for me, I have not been on full-time jobs since I started having kids. I will always select the jobs I want. I always select the jobs that will go with the family. And I've had to stay out of job sometimes because it wasn't just balancing the family dynamics at that point. So as a woman abroad, you first of all will take yourself out of the equation. It will not always be about you. It will not always be about you. It will be about what works for the family. And you will look at who earns more, whose money pays the rent or the mortgage, whose money puts more food on the table. If you understand that your husband earns more, you should be able to stay back a bit. So let's say you are the type that you like the career, you like to be in the office. As a matter, if you like to be in the office, let me even not use language as a limitation. You want to always work in maybe in the insurance company. When you start having children, the truth is that will take a toll. You will have to step down a bit. So, because if you have to work in an organization where you have to show up for 7 and your husband have to also leave the house at 6:30, who is going to be taking the child to school? You don't want to be putting your children in after school care every now and then because you are the mother. God did not give those children to after school. God gave those children to you. So first of all, you have to be ready to step aside. It's not about you anymore. You take yourself a bit. As a matter of fact, you will shortchange yourself at least like 80%. Because if you say let's do 50-50, it cannot work. It can only work when we do 20-80 or 20-30. I'm telling you, for me, for a lot of women abroad, if you're a career person and you want to be working, be ready to step down from wherever you're coming from. So even if it means going to that, and that's why you see some people, they work in old people's home because those are the places that you can find flexibility. Or
Yeah,
they
yeah.
even some people even do cleaning because of flexibility. Some people do like after school attendance just for flexibility. Welcome in Chef Chini, welcome Yo-Yo's World, and everybody
Oh, you,
coming in.
say something to you. Have you seen what she said?
No, cause our Nigerian women do that every time. Yes, yes, yes. Because if you don't do that, then there's going to be jeopardy in the home. So stepping, bringing yourself, taking yourself out of the equation. That's one. Then when we say balancing, you cannot balance it all. Like I said, if working means a lot to you, you need to look for a way to work, even if it's once a day, once a week,
Okay.
or even if it's twice a month. Yes. Or if you are not working, going to a place to report to clock in, then you need to start a business. Because it's when you start a business and you know that you're adding value. Because if sometimes as a woman, if you put yourself in the home and you are just doing everything for your husband, for your family, it gets to a point you begin to feel worthless. You feel that sense of I'm not doing anything, even though you are doing everything. You know why you feel that way? Because that thing is not written to your name. The thing is not tied to you. Like Plove TV, it's your Plove TV. It's like your project. It's like your baby. It's like this is my thing that I am building. And even if it's not generating money yet, you can still see it and know that I am building something here. I am acquiring more skills. I am getting better. I'm not getting rustic. So you make out time for that one thing that gives you joy. That's the only way you can balance it, because the family, running of the family will always stress you out. Keeping up with the other room activity, it's fun, but sometimes it will stress you out if you don't look for something that gives you that joy. And that's why, first of all, I say your validation should come from Christ. Then number two, you should have a pet project, something that is tied to you, something that gives you joy. That's the another way. That's the only way you will not feel that, oh, the man is cheating me. He's building his career. Me, I'm just here. After 10 years, my parents sent me to school. I'm just in the man's house. You need to find that one what. And even it doesn't have to be bringing money yet, but it's something that will make you show up. It's something that will make you make up your face. It's something that will just, it could even be just going to serve other people. Just saying, okay, even if you're not paying me, I love to do this. Let me come once in a week and clean the after school care table. So that will help you to balance the stress, because there is stress and there is stressor and there is antidote to the stress. So you need to look for antidotes, and those antidotes are the things that makes you as a person happy. Some people is just organizing party. I have a friend, party. She makes money, she does every other thing, but she loves to organize party. The joy that comes from organizing party is different. So if she organizes a party and the party is a success, for the next 3 months, she's in a very joyous mood. Sure, you get. So because to balance, to say that, oh, I want to face family squarely, I'm not going to do YouTube so that I will not have problem with my husband. No, you are going to still have problem. If you say, I want to just face my family and face church, some point you will get tired of church activity.
Yeah.
Because so that you show up on Tuesday for Bible study, you show up on Thursday if you can show up, you will get tired. But you need to look for one thing. That one thing that energizes you. And it doesn't have to be money. But for some people, it's money. For some people, it's going to holiday. Like one thing that I've come to adapt in the family is that once in a year, I might not do any other holiday, but you see, once a year holiday, I need to shut my kitchen. If I don't shut my kitchen, while I go day, it's not even possible. And that's why I've made it a family tradition. So it's not a conversation. It's that everything in these 2 weeks of the year, we are locking down the kitchen. Your sink also needs to rest. Every day you are putting water, you are putting oil, you are putting water, you are putting oil. The sink needs to rest. So that helps me a lot, because when I go for that holiday and I come back, I get, apart from
Renew.
YouTube, of course, I love to do YouTube. And that's why you see that I inculcate worship a lot, because that's what gives me joy also. So, what in a nutshell, that question is balancing. There's no perfect ordination that you say, I have put structures in place. I have put everything. Those structures will work, but it gets to a time, it's good to put those structures. But in the midst of those structures, make sure you have something that is for something that validates you, something that makes, that's when they remove all this your ordinate all these orders, that's the
Yeah.
way you can balance it. And that's the only way you can give the man peace, doing something that validates you in the midst of other things that you are doing.
Powerful. You have some chats there. Therefore, you say co-host as you. I mean, they do this before care and after care. Some even leave newborn babies with their nannies. Then Jeff Junior official says you have to check what it costs to put a child in a daycare before taking the step. You might just be working to pay bills, maybe, and that is the truth.
That's
That's
true.
like my son. Let me say my first son, when he was like what we were talking about before, about how to handle pressure. You know, people when I after my son, people were coming here. Children start school KG, I be pre-KG from 6 years thereabout, from 4 years, That's when they start pre-KG thereabout. So you see people coming, they're like, this boy is not yet going to school. Why is he at home? Why is it this? Why is it that? And I got so moved. My husband like, if you put him in school now, it's not yet the time for him to enter the school. If you see how much we paid, the pressure of if you put that boy in school now, you don't know how much he's going to repeat again. So if I'm going to force him to enter school, I'm saying he's going to repeat it again, the same class. And you see people be talking, why is your child not going to school? And when he started, the school is about 2,000 KD. For a child that's not even entering KG or pre-KG, just like in Nigeria, you keep a child for daycare. So what she's talking about now. So if we are continuing with that, you can imagine that we are paying, you are working and making the money, but I'm working it to pay bills. And that is where the issue of how to handle peer pressure comes in. Somebody tell you, my children are in school. You don't know how they're making their money. You don't even know if the company, one of them like that, the company of where they're working may be responsible for their children's school fees. But they will not tell you that. They will talk to you. You put your child in a school that is maybe lower than what their children are paying in their school. They tell you, why would they allow your child to go into that school? My children are they the ones paying the school fees of their child? Go and investigate. At the end of the day, you find out that it's the company that is paying.
Or
it's not them.
Social. In
Yes.
Switzerland, for instance, we have a system. Okay, because your husband is expatriate, I think he has to pay so many things for himself. Yeah. But in Switzerland, we have this system whereby every child, I'm going to come to the chat. I want to address some things on the chat, but let me say that in Switzerland, every child is the right of every child to go to school. So we don't really have those private school here. A child of a president can go to the same school that my child goes to. We don't really have class distinction also. The only thing where you have to pay extra is the after school care. And in Switzerland, they charge you according to what you earn. Mm-hmm. So it then means that my child can be in after school and I'm paying 1,000 and somebody else's child can experience the same service, the same everything, and the person is paying 200.
Wow.
Another person's child can experience the same service, the same everything, and is paying 10,000. You see, they charge you according to what you earn. And even if you are not working, you are under social system, the welfare scheme, your child will still enjoy the same privilege as my child. You understand? That's how Switzerland is. So coming to peer pressure, that if I say I'm not allowing my child to go to after school because I want to save that money, and you are in social scheme, you are not the one paying. So you cannot say that you are better than me, or and there's no even case of anybody better than anybody anyway. It's just petty. These are things we see among us women, but it is petty. It is petty.
Yes. You are so right about that. Really, it's what we are discussing about. I'm not complaining. Him is not complaining. So I know, I love all this sit down in the camera, you're talking, you are creating content. When it wasn't you say, are you creating it for money? Is what you love doing, isn't it? Then focus on doing what you love doing. Leave that money. So know what works for you. Don't let anybody deceive you out of that balance you're setting. You and your spouse, you know what is working for you and your children. Those children should be more precious to you than even the work you're working, especially when you're living in a place that
the shoulder of the man. Me, I've said it on YouTube over time. Traveling all this holiday is big for me. So even though we are back from one, everything I'm doing, every money that is coming, I'm already saving small, so that when that time comes, you will not say it's because the money is not enough. Do you understand? So because that's why I said you need to know what. Don't just fold your hands and say, if you make a no work or something, just know where you can also mop up the money. You are selling hair. It might not be coming every day, but out of those small ones, be ready. Even if you are a banker, even if you're a career, just be ready. Just take it that this is the sacrifice for my children. So I'm going to because abroad, there's always some small things to do. It's not easy sometimes, but with God on our side, with an open heart, He will always connect the dots for us. He will connect the dots.
Really. Me too. I cook sometimes. So spending time with our kids is ideal. Yes, it's very, very important because there is time for everything. Yes. What is your Chefini says some parents are not well guided. Setting boundaries is a must. Seriously, it is a must. Oyoyo says, amazing topic, host. Well done to both of you. Thank you so much, ma. We appreciate you. Say yes, use every opportunity. Whatever you can do around your kids, do it. That is whatever you can do. Even my son now, if you come about baking, I even do online training for people that want to learn how to bake cake, meat pie, stuff like that. So if you're lying down on the bed, you say this woman is in the house there, folding her hands. I'm lying down, I'm teaching somebody online, and they put even if a little money. Sometimes the money I made from teaching online, they pay it into Naira account. It's what I used to settle some issues back there with that stress. And somebody's doing party here. Plove, please, can you get me your signature snacks right away? Hobby is back from work. Please, can you help me with these children? 2 hours, enter kitchen, prepare something and off. It doesn't have to come always, but it's something you know that you are getting something from. Thank you. Thank you. Whatever you can do around your kids, you do. Okay, the next question is, in your experience, how was it like during pregnancy and nursing without help? That's if you didn't have any. And if you had anyone, was it enough?
Okay. Well, in my case, when I came, I didn't start having kids immediately. So that made me, and I've always been a church girl, so I got into church activities. I'm always looking forward to Sunday. So I had friends, and most of my friends are always senior friends. Yes, I had them in church. So when I had my child, I had expectations that they will come now, they will come, because even me, I didn't have a mom, so I didn't have expectation of anybody coming from Omugo. That expectation was not there. I was just having that expectation that, okay, people around me will always come. But like you said, like I said, they are senior friends. Most of their kids are already grown. So we are not in the same phase anymore. They are already working. So what they do, when I just had my child, everybody came to visit me in the hospital. It was a full house. So I thought when we come home, it will be the same. Forget. It's only Sundays you see them show up. And when they show up, also they want to eat. And so at the beginning, it was tough because when they come like that, everybody will just enter kitchen. They will see what they can do for you. So there was no help that somebody will help you to clean your house. So the only help that was available was they visit you and they can hold your baby for you while you go and bathe or while you are checking what you are cooking. So there was no help. It just boils down to you and your husband. So our routine was my husband will go to work. I'm at home. So when he comes, he takes over from where I stop so that I can sleep. And then, so I didn't have any external help. I wasn't working full time, not to talk about I want to be looking for somebody to come and take care of my child. So I was hands on doing it alone. And in the midst of it all, I just, like I said, it's just to just find joy in it, to just say that, okay, this is stressful, but it's somebody else's testimony. Would I want my house? And then if you start having kids, your house can never be the same again, no matter how orderly you are. So for me, that was a challenge. I was always wanting something that I put here to be here. I don't want to
Yeah.
look for it. I was always wanting that the house is always neat, everything to the teeth, to the bow. But for my first child, I could manage it. I could scale through. But the second one, I couldn't. So I got used to the house is scattered today. We can arrange it when we wake up. Or the house is scattered. I got used to it because if I didn't want to, I'll be picking things. No, sometimes it's okay when the toy is on the floor. When I finish cooking and I rest, even sometimes I do cleaning in the night, or
Thank you.
sometimes I do keep cooking in the night. So you just need to look for what can really work. So I didn't have help, so we had to juggle it. So after two boys, me now, if you say, do I really want a girl? I will really love a girl. But my husband will say, please, let's just stay on this lane. If anything shows up by miraculously, we will thank God for it. But let's not go and start looking for by ourselves. Hi guys. Uh, okay, welcome, darling.
Mom, you told me to play with Flipper Clip, right?
Yes. Set you're welcome. You see, they are back now. Before you know it, we will start preparing for
Now,
I,
Mom.
hey, I'm on live video. I'm coming. Okay, keep your bags.
Sorry
So
for disturbing you.
it's okay, darling. So I didn't have help. I just had to juggle it, and I took one day at a time. And like I said, also finding that thing that makes me happy. So I inculcate it along whatever I was doing. Thank you so much if you watched this extent. There was more to this conversation, like I said. Check out Plove TV on YouTube to catch the full video. It was value back to back. Thank you. Catch you all in my next video. Bye-bye.